In this video, I'm going to show you how you can exclude yourself from your Facebook ads. All and more coming up. Hey there, and welcome back to another video of MeasureSchool.com teaching you the data-driven way of digital marketing. My name is Julian, and today we want to talk about how you can exclude yourself or your team or whoever is working on your Facebook ads from your Facebook ads so they can click on them and can pollute your data. Now, you might be familiar with a feature in Google Analytics where you can filter out certain traffic from IP addresses, for example, that you don't want to have included in a dataset. Unfortunately, in Facebook ads, we don't have such a filter functionality, and therefore we need to find a workaround. And one of the methods I want to show you today is actually using custom audiences to exclude yourself or your team around you from your Facebook ads. And how to do this is what we're gonna discover in this video. Let's dive in.
Alright, here in our demo shop, we have the Facebook pixel installed on this website, site-wide on every page. Now, we have probably already built some custom audiences from people who have been identified by the pixel. You can look at your custom audiences under the asset library right here under audiences. You'll see all the audiences that you have built from the Facebook pixel or an upload of email addresses or lookalike audiences. Now, what we want to do is actually utilize this to build a new custom audience. So if you click here on custom audience, we'll be greeted with these different methods, and we'll go with the website traffic method. And here we can choose, we want to include people who meet any of the following criteria. And what do we choose here? Well, we want to be very specific who we are including in this custom audience, because we only want to include people who are actually from our team or ourselves. Since the Facebook pixel mainly tracks the page view and the URL up here, we could just go ahead and make up a URL like /internal. You could call it whatever you want really, but the Facebook pixel needs to be installed on this page. So we have that Facebook pixel installed on our page, and it's an internal page. It's nowhere linked up on the page itself, but all our employees or contractors or ourselves know about this page and know about exactly this URL. So once we visit this URL, we obviously get pixeled and should now be in the system of Facebook. Now we can utilize this to actually exclude ourselves from our ads. How do we do this? Here in the custom audience builder, we can include all website visitors with the event page view and refine this by the URL where the URL contains internal. Now this is valid for 30 days. We can go to a maximum of 180 days. Let's do that. And that's basically already it. We can now call this whatever we want, for example, internal traffic, and simply create the audience. Now this will take a little while to populate, but since this URL is only known to us internal people, and you would send that link obviously in an email to your colleagues or whoever you want to exclude for them to visit that URL and then get automatically added to that custom audience. If you want to have this a little bit more sophisticated so people don't actually notice that they are being excluded, or if you don't particularly feel telling everybody about that they are being excluded, you could also place this pixel on a frequently visited website by your internal team members. For example, on a WordPress shop, that would maybe be the PHP login page here. So before they log in, they would be pixeled. Now be aware that you need to have the Facebook pixel installed on this page. This would not be the case on a normal WordPress page, because these pages are excluded from any kind of templating that's going on in WordPress itself. But I'm sure you'll be able to figure this out with the help of your developer if this is something you would like to do. Obviously, we could also push this into the data layer. So if the user is logged in and he is an internal member, you could fire a specialized pixel based on that. But again, it gets really complicated. You can always go more sophisticated. The easiest way would really be just make up a URL that only you and your team members know about and fire your Facebook pixel normally on this page. Then you can use your custom audience feature to build such a audience. And this is the populating, but nonetheless, I can show you the last step, which would be when you use this in your ad. So you're creating an ad, Then at some point, you obviously get to the point where you can choose the audience that you want to target. That's normally done in the ad set portion. So for example here, let's just edit this. And this is where you can choose your audiences, and you can choose to exclude an audience from the ads that you want to show in this ad set. And here is where you can choose your internal website traffic or your team members from your custom audiences that you have identified with this pixel. And henceforth, your users who have been identified in this custom audience won't be seeing your ads any longer. So this is really the fastest and easiest method that I know of. You could also build a custom audience with a upload of email addresses of your team, for example, from a CSV file like this one. If there are not too many and you know their Facebook email addresses, that's definitely one way to go. Or you could always go more sophisticated and block the firing of the Facebook pixel as well, but that wouldn't be retroactive. So once your user is identified through this method, he might be already in the system and sees your ads. So coming up with a internal website or hidden website that only you and your team know of is an easy method to exclude yourself from your Facebook ads.
Alright, so there you have it. This is how you can exclude yourself and your team from your Facebook ads. Now, the obvious downside for this is that the data still goes into the data set. So Facebook Analytics, for example, wouldn't be affected by this change. But it's an effective way to easily exclude yourself and your team and the people who are working on your Facebook ads from actually seeing those ads and clicking on them and then skewing the data in Facebook ads itself. Now, if you have any more questions or any other methods that you use to exclude yourself from your Facebook ads, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel right over there, because we bring you new videos just like this one every week. Now, my name is Julian. Till next time.